My name is Sarah Taylor, and I love watching cult documentaries. Netflix has so many, and they're all good. A lot of it sounds eerily familiar, though. I grew up in a very strict, very religious household, and I don't mean to say I grew up in a cult. My life was not that difficult or that interesting. But the basic tenets are the same. Don't question, don't think about it. If you're starting to doubt, Satan already has you. If you want to be happy, you can never, ever leave. It was intense, but it made me happy at the time. Until one day in history class, I learned about the massacre of Nanjing. Perhaps hundreds of thousands of people died in one day. I went home to talk to my sister about it, and through my tears, she interrupted me and said, "Why do you care? That's already happened. That's what people do." I became confused. How could somebody who believed the same things as me, my own sister, have such different beliefs, have such, to me, what seemed contradictory ideas? And I realized that to become who I wanted to become, I would have to set myself on a different path. I would have to learn things on my own and to learn to accept things that make me uncomfortable. If I want to be happy with who I am, I have to accept one of the worst days of human history. I started to read the news on my own. It helped that I was part of a very nerdy circle of friends that if you didn't know John McCain's voting record, you don't get to be part of the conversation. Perhaps unsurprisingly, my family did not stress independent study. The news I learned was the news my parents saw fit to tell me. Until one day, I wandered onto the New York Times website. It turns out a lot of horrible things have been happening since the massacre of Nanjing. It's very hard to learn about the Afghani coup the same month as the Gulf oil spill. However, I was learning about the world around me. I was learning about the way things work, and I was able to hold my own in conversations. I was becoming more confident within my own group of friends. To understand that bad things happen in the world made me more comfortable, made me happier, even with my own close group of friends. A few years later, I took my first class here at FLC. The professor was a very likable, very qualified, very funny adult who was living what I was raised to believe was an alternative lifestyle. They talked about rioting after Harvey Milk's assassination and protesting for the right to choose. I had never met an adult who talked so openly about things I've been raised to be against. In the wake of Prop 8, this professor had their right to marry stolen from them. They did not hide their anguish or their anger. I'd started to realize that love is love. For the first time, I was comfortable even with the idea of somebody being different than me. I wasn't scared of different ways of living. I didn't necessarily agree with the professor at this point, but if the professor wasn't inherently evil for falling in love with someone, then what other truths from my childhood could be wrong? Not only do I need to learn about the world around me and validate that, I need to learn about my own life and question everything. Due to my growing self-confidence, I've moved into a position at my job that allows for a lot more empowered decision making. I get to network, represent the company, meet other companies, and learn how to build better relationships. It's fantastic. Except when I realize too late that somebody is lying to me. It often seems ridiculous. Why would they lie to me? My company could help them be more profitable, could help them grow. So what's the point? They lie so they feel smarter. They lie so they feel like they've been making better decisions than they have. It seems so illogical. Like, I usually believe them. To this day, my boss will have to tell me that somebody just lied to my face. Luckily, I've started to pick up on it. By being able to pick up on it, I've been able to become better at my job. I have to expect that people will be rude, that people will be stupid, and that they're going to lie to me. I have to have low expectations of people. I have to be good at my job and to make more money, which does make me happy. Besides that affluenza, it makes me happy to know that I have more control of the conversation. I'm not at somebody else's mercy to know the truth. Most people think that becoming cynical means feeling less or being generally depressed. I would like to make an argument for the latter. By learning more and questioning more, I've become who I am. I have had to figure out how to separate those I love from the essential parts of who I am. I'm no longer what people tell me to be. I no longer think something just because somebody tells me to think it. And I'm no longer uncomfortable with learning something new. I will not let others take advantage of me. And that makes me pretty happy. In the eternal words of Gloria Steinem, the truth will set you free, but first will piss you off.